a bet on the match. Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market,
the current
handicap
programme
betting.
on this station is unavailable. This is either due to contractual reasons or a temporary technical fault. Please try again later. If you're looking you live, please visit bbc.co.uk/England. Hello, and thank you for listening.
Come. Tottenham always look dangerous on the breakthrough. Son and Kane and Kulusevski. It's a great game so far. Leeds 0, Tottenham 1.
Oh, it's ever so tense, isn't it? Kelly Summers, what did you make of that there, Martin?
in the build-up play. Plays a beautiful 1-2 as he cuts in from the right-hand side before squaring the ball to Ward-Prowse, who just guides the ball into the bottom right on what you said could well be his last Southampton appearance. It is 1-2 here.
Southampton trailing Liverpool by 2-1. The key scoreline at Ellen Road down at the bottom of the table is that Leeds, 3 years in the Premier League, they've not won in the last 8 Premier League games. They've lost 6 of those. They are behind against Spurs. And it's an understatement to say this is an open game, Clinton.
Oh, it's like a basketball match. It's end-to-end, to be fair. It's from Leeds' long throw, and they break, and they're in. And it's 2-on-1, but Kulusevski's pass to Son's nowhere near good enough, and Christensen defends it well. Oh, great shot there from 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓴𝓼. Great block from Sanchez. Good game this, Jeff. Still 1-0 Tottenham.
Motherwell 3, Dundee United 2. Dundee United have been relegated. Ross County will fill the relegation playoff spot in the Scottish Premiership. But what will happen in England? Well, you can see there's been no decisive move in terms of sides at the bottom of the table at the moment. Leeds are behind. They will be down. Leicester will be down if it stays as it is at the King Power Stadium and at Goodison Park, which would mean that Everton would survive. There is, though, a long way to go. Back with more in a moment.
Clearing the path to the action. Soccer Special, sponsored by 𝓳𝓸𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰.
Who said electrification can't spark excitement when unplugged? New Nissan Qashqai with e-Power. A unique electrified experience, unplugged.
To thank you guys for letting me stay, I spent all day making this super special soup.
Oh, what a treat! Anything for a night off from Sergei's cooking. It looks delicious, Carl. What's in it?
Oh, all the good stuff. Onion, garlic, a pint of chili powder, tomatoes.
Pint!
Oh, a pinch of chili powder, not a pint.
Don't wombat it, meerkat it!
Simples.
Biscuit, anyone? Lovely.
Very British.
Which reminds me, smart meters could help Britain create a future where we're less reliant on imported gas.
All right.
They help us manage our energy use, which improves the balance of supply and demand, so we could use more wind and solar energy from Britain.
Help Britain create a future that's less reliant on imported gas. Search Get a Smart Meter today.
Every movie from the amazing world of Spider-Man, all in one place.
Who am I? I'm Spider-Man.
Sky Cinema Spider-Man, available now.
Watch the League One playoff final with a place in the championship up for grabs. All the action, live, only on Sky Sports.
Lyle is a good crocodile. He wears a scarf and he can sing. That was totally awesome.
Lyle Crocodile, available now on Sky Cinema.
You never want to miss it.
It's just the beginning of a feel-good summer like no other on Sky Sports.
Soccer Special, sponsored by 𝓳𝓸𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰.
Carlisle United have won a penalty shootout against Stockport in the League Two playoff final. They will be playing in League One next season. Congratulations to them. We're heading straight off to Old Trafford. Aleksandar Mitrovic, back at the scene of his crime that earned him an 8-game ban, might be about to put Fulham 2-0 up, Sue Smith.
Yeah, he's got a penalty up against David De Gea. It was a definite penalty. Casemiro bringing down... Oh, it's saved! David De Gea saves it to the penalty corner. It was Harry Maguire that gave the ball away into Fulham. Fulham straight away, they broke. Harry Wilson down the right-hand side into Tom Kearney. He cut inside. Casemiro completely brought him down. It was a definite penalty. The referee was right on the spot. Mitrovic steps up to take the penalty. David De Gea saves it. Brilliant save from him, and it's still 1-0 to Fulham.
Well, he's got 17 clean sheets this season in the Golden Gloves, but for Aleksandar Mitrovic, he's into the Premier League history books for the wrong reason. No player has ever missed 4 penalties in one Premier League season, but Mitrovic has. 4 out of 8 he's missed. Aston Villa have double-dealt against Brighton, and Ollie Watkins has ended his drought. Michael Dawson.
They certainly have, and it's absolutely brilliant from Aston Villa. We talk about how good Brighton are in possession, but when you get a chance, the press, it's John McGinn, he wins a ball back there, and then it's Leon Bailey. He plays a ball forward because all the Brighton players are high. Jacob Ramsey does absolutely magnificent. You think, is he going to try and take it round Jason Steele? No, he just lends him, and Ollie Watkins couldn't miss that. But it's the way that Aston Villa are playing, they're waiting to pounce on Brighton, and when they get that chance, they do, and then they penetrate and play the ball forward, and Brighton are so exposed. 2-0 Aston Villa, well deserved.
Go on, Chelsea.
Now, here's a novelty.
Yeah.
Chelsea have scored. Mind you, it's not a Chelsea player who's put the ball in the net, B.
No, it's not. It's Kieran Trippier. And it was a well-worked free kick. The ball was played to Raheem Sterling on the right-hand side. Does brilliantly, cuts back into the box, shoots, sticks the ball across the face of goal, and it hits Kieran Trippier's boot, flicks up, hits his arm, and then goes into the back of the net. Not the prettiest, but Chelsea really won't care. They were desperate to get on the score sheet. They won't care that it's a Newcastle player, and they've equalised. It's 1-1.
We'll hear about Arsenal's third goal in a moment or two, but Leicester have gone mighty close to putting their noses in front against West Ham. Chris Boyd.
I think he's got to score, Jeff. It's in Iheanacho again. It's a great ball to the back post. He takes a lovely touch just to pull it out the sky, and then he manages to turn. This is all in the 6-yard box. He plays it into Maddison, who plays it back to him. And for me, he tries to bend it away in the far corner, and it just clips the top of the bar and goes way over. He's got to hit the target. Somebody with his talent. 0-0.
0-0 there. What a comeback by Southampton. 2-0 down early doors against Liverpool. Back on level terms, Abby.
Yeah, and it's Sulemana who's got his first goal for the Saints. It's excellent work to win the ball back in the middle of the park before Theo Walcott, of course, also playing in his last game for the Saints. Made his debut at 16, and he was crucial in this one. Threaded a beautifully weighted ball through for Sulemana, who just slotted the ball home to make this one 2-2. Game on.
Yeah, as Abby said there, it's his first Southampton goal at the 18th. Attempts. Well, the season hasn't ended the way that Arsenal fans would have wanted to, but let's bear in mind they finished 8 points, or they are 8 points behind Manchester City. Last season, they were 24 points behind Manchester City. That's what you call improvement, and they are finishing with a flourish, Katie.
They certainly are. They are ending the year in style because they've got another goal to make it 3-0, and unsurprisingly, it's Bukayo Saka with goal number 15 in the Premier League. This time, Leandro Trossard once again linking up way with him on the right-hand side. He's there again, and he's gone for the shot. For his last goal, he was out just on the right-hand side of the 6-yard box and then just curled in a beautiful effort into the bottom left-hand corner. So Arsenal are on course to get their best points tally since 2 decades ago from that invincible season. Right now it is Arsenal 3, Wolves 0.
Yeah, 81 points they've got at the moment. That's already 12 points better than last season. Bukayo Saka with his 15th goal of the campaign. Aston Villa 2 goals to the good against Brighton. It sounds a comfortable scoreline, but actually it's anything but comfortable, Doors.
It certainly is, and Evan Ferguson again will be so disappointed. It's Brunetto. He plays a great pass again, and Evan Ferguson goes to take a left foot shot, and I think it's Kamara. Absolutely unbelievable, because he's one-on-one again. I mean, they've had 2 big opportunities, and Ferguson will be disappointed he hasn't hit the target. He was a great tackle in Aston Villa's defence, but they've got McAllister to Pascal Gross. He's chopped inside. Oh my word, talk about trying to walk it in. He should have shot. Chopped inside from 6 yards out. He's tried to pass. Just shoot on his right foot. Still 2-0 Aston Villa, though, Jeff. Good game.
Fulham are a goal up against Manchester United at Old Trafford. They could have been 2-0 up, in truth, but Manchester United might easily have been level. Sue Smith.
Oh, they've just had 3 opportunities in quick succession, Jeff, to get that goal back. Garnacho with 2 of them. He's hit the bar from the left-hand side. It's a brilliant effort. The keeper's beaten Leno, but the other chance was he could have actually played it to Rashford. Really good one-touch play from Manchester United. Plays it into Garnacho, central. He just spins, has a shot which goes wide. Rashford had just overlapped him. He's furious. He wanted the ball, just slipped into him. He could have tapped it in. It's still 1-0 to Fulham, but Manchester United pushing.
We keep on asking the same question. If Everton to win today, who is going to score a goal for them? It's a question which becomes more and more pertinent the longer the game goes on. Paul Murphy.
Well, Everton have started to play a bit now, Jeff, but what a save by the keeper. Gabe gets put in, one-on-one with the keeper. He's running away from the goal. He's just got to hit the target, he hits it, and Travers gets a hand to it and puts it over the bar. I don't know if they give a corner, Jeff. Yeah, they have give a corner. It was a good save, but he's got to go low. Corner comes in. It's flicked on by Minamino and the keeper, and it goes out for a goal kick. Still 0-0, first chance to Everton.
First chance to Everton, but 15 home goals. That's as few as anybody in the division this season. Chance, but still goalless at the moment. Mind you, Leeds United fans, they'd be very happy if it was goalless against Spurs. It's not, because Spurs are leading by a goal to nil. What's happening now, Clinton?
To be fair, the game's kind of fizzled out. It started off like a house on fire, but the crowd have gone a bit quiet. They were on the front foot. But yeah, it's all Leeds are trying, they're pushing, they are pushing. First. We have had no chances of late. Still 1-0 Tottenham.
Well, let's check up on Leicester, shall we? Because they're the side who are still within touching distance of safety and touching distance of Everton. They created 1 or 2 half chances. They lost 22 games this season. It's almost unthinkable, isn't it? And they conceded first in 18 of their 20 Premier League games. Have they got the upper hand against West Ham, Boydie?
Jeff, it's kind of strange. Dean Smith's out the dugout screaming at the defence to get up a bit as well and try and squeeze West Ham back. When they get it close to the West Ham goal, they are a threat, there's no doubt about it. They just need to take that little bit of, whether it's an extra touch or be careful in front of goal, because, they have created opportunities but failed to really hit the target at this moment in time. And that's, that's what wins games, isn't it? The quality in that final third. So there'll be something they need to improve. But as I said, Dean Smith is out the dugout trying to get Johnny Evans fast up the pitch to try and squeeze it, but still 0-0.
Yeah, Johnny Evans is one of those out of contract at Leicester at the end of this season. Yuri Tillemans, of course, is out of contract as well. And the speculation over Harvey Barnes and James Maddison, particularly, of course, if they go down. Crystal Palace 0, Nottingham Forest 1. Taiwo Awoniyi is the man who's got the goal that has put them in front. Awoniyi having an absolutely fantastic run in front of goal at the moment, and he's now scored 6 in his last 4 and scored in 4 consecutive games. But enough of that, let's get back to the King Power Stadium, where there has been a key goal. Chris Boyd.
Yeah, it's Harvey Barnes, and what a goal it is down the left-hand side. He comes in off the touchline and he just passes it past the goalkeeper. You can see it here. Great play from Leicester. You can see down the left-hand side, they work it really well. And then Harvey Barnes drives in, plays a quick 1-2 with Iheanacho, and it's a great finish composed for his 13th Premier League goal of the season. And it could be the biggest. 1-0 Leicester.
Yeah, it's a wonderful goal from Harvey Barnes. As you say, it's his 13th goal of the season, and it means, as it stands right now, Leicester are outside the relegation places, and Everton slip back into that relegation zone. So let's go back to Goodison Park, where they know... I'm seeing the fans there now. They know. People have got hands clasped as if in prayer. They know that Leicester City are in front. Are Everton still pressing?
Yeah, they're doing better now, Jeff. They've started to go after Bournemouth now. Bournemouth were very relaxed on the ball. They're going after him, and they're getting rewards. There's another shot by Gaya for about 25 yards out. Good save again by Travers. But the crowd, just before that goal, were right up, Jeff. They're right up. They were closing down, winning the ball high up. A long way to go still yet. There's a goal in it for Everton here, surely. 0-0.
Well, every Evertonian will be desperately hoping that is the case. I mentioned they just don't score many goals at home. It's been a huge issue for them all season long, and with the way things stand right now, that lack of goal scoring might cost them a place in the Premier League, the top flight, where they have been ever present for the last 69 consecutive seasons. They're hanging literally by a thread at the moment. So Everton level at home. It is goalless. Leeds behind against Spurs, but the key score, Leicester leads West Ham by a goal to nil. We're back with more in a couple of minutes on this Gillette Soccer Special.
Lighting up the conversation. Soccer Special, sponsored by Gillette Labs.
Hey, why do you look so happy? You know where you are, right?
I know it's against your nature, but try chewing this time.
Movie boxes? Is somebody moving out? Let me help.
No.
No one ever moves out.
You know, they sell ketchup in stores. You don't have to make your own.
We're all going to be out of town at the same time, so somebody be sure to arm the security system.
It's on.
Enjoy more of the latest blockbusters than anywhere else this June on Sky Cinema.
All right, take a seat. You can't miss this. This is unmissable.
I can't get it out of my head.
This is unmissable. We're pushing forward. Can't miss this.
Some things are worth fighting for.
And don't miss the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park. Enjoy more of the latest blockbusters on Sky Cinema.
True story. A great man once said to me,
Throw that baby down!
oh my jeez.
On the right-hand side of Chelsea's penalty area, the ball found its way to him. He almost had too much time. He was able to bring it down, set himself, and with his left foot just balloon the ball up into the stands. Really did not catch that one well, Miguel Almiron. And you can't believe it. He's
you guys just need to keep your mouths shut.
Put a couple of efforts wide now. He's not really got his shooting boots this afternoon.
In a one-off test.
And Enzo Fernandez now bursting forward for Chelsea down the right-hand side. He goes crossfield to Sterling. Inch-perfect pass from the Argentinian. Sterling takes a 1-2 with Gallagher. Back to Lewis Hall now. Sterling once more. 25 yards out. Crossfield it goes to Fernandez. Fernandez tries to chip one back into the path of Sterling, but he can't pick him out. Fernandez and Guimaraes tries to get away, but Loftus-Cheek dispossesses him. Now Havertz. Gallagher. Gallagher, Mercury the shooting angle, shoots and is blocked. Claiming handball, Conor Gallagher, but no one else is. It probably tells you a lot. Alan Saint-Maximin forward to Bruno Guimaraes. Guimaraes up to Alexander Isak on the left wing. He's running at Trevor Chalobah. Still going, Isak into the area. Almost loses possession. Good marking by Trevor Chalobah. Back now to Guimaraes. Saint-Maximin involved. Guimaraes again. Wide to Trippier, is up from the back. His attempted cross is blocked by Lewis Hall. Trippier picks it up once more and threads it through to Guimaraes. Almiron inside the area, but with his back to the goal. Lays it off to Trippier, whose attempted cross once again finds Lewis Hall cutting it out. Miguel Almiron needs a bit of a break. Looks exhausted already, but Bruno Guimaraes is down. He's taken his boot off and he's holding his ankle, so he's in a bit of discomfort, to say the least. Bruno Guimaraes, so we'll have a little bit of a stoppage. Nottingham Forest have taken the lead at Crystal Palace, and Leicester City are 1-0 up against West Ham United. What does that mean for the bottom of the table? That means that Leicester are in crucial 17th position at the moment. They have the better goal difference than Everton, and then Leeds United down in 19th. Could be one of the most crucial goals in Leicester City's recent history. They've had plenty of those, but at the top of the table, not at the bottom. And it's Harvey Barnes who has broken the deadlock at the King Power. It's Bukayo Saka who put Arsenal 3-0 up against Wolves. Taiwo Awoniyi, who scored for Nottingham Forest. And Guimaraes is still receiving a fair bit of treatment. Chelsea are unbeaten in their last 12 final day matches that have come at home. That run stretching back to 2002. Newcastle's ownership representatives involved in the director's box. And Deck is here, as in Anton Deck. And yes, they're not together. We are back underway. Kieran Trippier finds Guimaraes, tries to return the favour, but it's poked out of play again by Lewis Hall, who's not giving Trippier a moment's breathing space at the moment. Trippier will take the throw. Going out of play for a corner and finds Lewis Hall. Gallagher again. Short pass infield to Thiago, to Gordon. Trippier again. Chips one forward looking for Gordon, but well covered this time by Gallagher, who stops it going out of play for a corner and finds Lewis Hall. Chelsea coming forward again with Noni Madueke. Madueke on the right-hand side. Takes a low shot, and it's not going to catch Al Dubravka from there. Very wide. Botman was in there for Newcastle. But Chelsea coming forward again with Noni Madueke. Madueke on the right-hand side. Takes a low shot for it. He was straight at him, really comfortable one for him. 42 minutes gone. Just 3 of the 45 still to play, but we've had a couple of stoppages. Really comfortable one for him. Goal in this half. It's Chelsea 1, Newcastle United 1. Anthony Gordon for Newcastle, and then so we should have a fair few minutes to be added on. Still plenty of time for a third goal in this half. It's Chelsea 1, Newcastle United 1. Anthony Gordon for Newcastle, and then Enzo Fernandez forced back. Plays it to Chalobah. Raheem Sterling. Enzo Fernandez again over the halfway line. Wide of him is Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Back he goes to Chalobah. Enzo Fernandez to the opposite with Sterling. Silva again over the halfway line. Wide of him is Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Back he goes to Chalobah. Well cut out though by Target, and Newcastle can spring forward again with Alan Saint-Maximin. Saint-Maximin gets past one challenge, still going, feeds Almiron. Surely he'll hit the target this time. He does, but it's well saved. Miguel Almiron, if he had a right foot, he would have used that one there, but decided to try and curl it past 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 with his left, and made a good save, did the Chelsea goalkeeper, to keep it at 1-1. Lewis Hall tries to play the ball forward, but it's knocked out of play by Kieran Trippier. Excellent work again there by Alan Saint-Maximin. Picked up the ball 15 yards or so inside his own half. Just glided past Enzo Fernandez. Ball across the edge of the area to Almiron. And it was the perfect chance really for a right-footed player, but Almiron, who plays over on that right-hand side, but still tried to use his left there. He didn't really catch it as he would have wanted, didn't really have enough time to set himself with the left foot. But still a good save from Kepa. Chelsea now, we're in the last minutes of the 45. Lewis Hall on the left wing, infield to Gallagher. Now Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Fernandez, Madueke. Loftus-Cheek wide to Lewis Hall. Nice pass infield to Gallagher at the edge of the area. Moves into the box, Gallagher. Uses Hall again. Lewis Hall getting forward, but well stood up this time by Bruno Guimaraes, who was able to continue after his treatment. Enzo Fernandez just needs some options. He's 30 yards out in a central position for Chelsea. Goes wide to Lewis Hall. Loftus-Cheek and Fernandez again. Just looking for that killer pass. Loftus-Cheek. In by Hall. Excellent save by Dubravka. Turned in by Raheem Sterling. No, off the line. Oh, that was a brilliant ball across, and Raheem Sterling only had to make the finish. And then another shot comes in. Excellent save by Dubravka. Managed to hold on to that one with a flying dive. Raheem Sterling can't believe he hasn't got his name on the score sheet there. Loftus-Cheek wide, and fantastic cross with the first time. With the first touch, I should say, by Lewis Hall. Actually deflected off Trippier. Made it awkward for Newcastle. The touch towards goal by Sterling. Excellent dive at full strength by Dubravka. It fell to Sterling again. And his shot cleared off the line. Another one that came in later was well saved by Dubravka as well. And Dubravka in to replace the injured Nick Pope, having a fantastic first start of the Premier League season. And it's only one of his own players that's breached his goal thus far. We're into the second of 4 minutes that were added on, and now it's Newcastle coming forward with Almiron. Gets to the byline, away from 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Conor Gallagher intercepts his passing field to Guimarães, but Guimarães shuffles back and picks it up again. Now forward to Elliot Anderson. Anderson tries a shot, and I think that one's blocked by his own man. To Trippier now. Heads it forward to Gordon. Back he goes to Cher, and now Botman. Matt Target linking up with Alan Saint-Maximin. Alan Saint-Maximin comes in off the wing, but then runs down a bit of a blind alley, and Chelsea regain possession. It's up to Kai Havertz now. Wide he goes to Sterling. Sterling being tracked by Anthony Gordon. Loftus-Cheek to Lewis Hall now. Wide to Conor Gallagher. He's taken right out of the game. Thiago Silva across. Chalobah. Centre-backs in combination once more. Enzo Fernandez. He goes wide. Madueke out there. Infield he goes to Havertz. Chelsea just building for one final attack before the half-time whistle goes. They will have to hurry things up a bit. They tried that with Loftus-Cheek, but instantly when they try to up the tempo, Newcastle are there to steal it from them. Guimarães tries to poke one through to Gordon, but in fact it was Alexander Isak who got in the way of that one. We're into the final minute now of the initial 4 that were added on. Kieran Trippier on possession on the halfway line. He goes to Fabian Cher. Cross he goes to Botman. It's Newcastle's turn now to try and build one final push before the 15-minute break. Trippier in a rather central area spreads one across and picks out Miguel Almiron on the wing. Almiron trying to beat Lewis Hall for pace, but Hall stands him up nicely and wins possession well, but then gives it away again. Cher into the area, plenty of space, he goes across, and he had acres of time and effort there, time and space I should say, Fabian Cher, to try and play one across to Isak. It was so easily cut out by Kepa, straight at him really, but not really the man that Newcastle really would have wanted in that position. And that was in fact the last real action of the first half. It's been a lively game, it's been an open game as you would expect on the last day of the season between two teams who don't exactly have a lot to play for. Newcastle United took the lead in just the 10th minute. Anthony Gordon on target for the first time in black and white stripes from close range. And then a well-worked free kick from Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez went short. No one tracked the run of Raheem Sterling. He played it across goal, and Kieran Trippier was powerless to stop it going in to his own net. Chelsea 1, Newcastle United 1 is the halftime score. Join me. Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Flash Score's audio coverage of Chelsea against Newcastle United on the final day of the Premier League season of 2022-2023. Can you believe it? We've got through it all. Another whole season gone with the World Cup in between. For Chelsea, it's not been one to remember, but they have been pretty bright so far this afternoon. After Newcastle United took an early lead through Anthony Gordon, they equalised through an own goal coming off Kieran Trippier. Some good work from Enzo Fernandez and Raheem Sterling from a cleverly worked free kick which set up the opportunity. Chelsea have come close to adding to that lead. Newcastle United a little bit wasteful in front of goal, especially from Miguel Almiron. Almiron was on fire before the aforementioned World Cup. He scored 7 in his last 8 for the World Cup. The last time he scored was against Wolves in March. Sterling not exactly had the best of seasons. His first campaign since moving from Manchester City for £47.5 million, 6 goals and 3 assists. Scored twice against Nottingham Forest. That one on the 13th of this month. That was his first goal. Those were his first goals, I should say, since New Year's Day. And before that, he hadn't scored in the Premier League since August. The Chelsea players and the officials I can see in the tunnel at Stamford Bridge. And in fact, we are going to see a change at half-time because Wesley Fofana is already out on the playing surface, getting himself warmed up and prepared. I imagine it would be a like-for-like change, either Thiago Silva or Chalobah going off. This, of course, is Frank Lampard's last game in interim charge. This is his 11th game, and so far it's a fairly dismal 1-1, drawn 1, and a lost the other 8. He had a 52% win rate in his first spell. I think that has largely been forgotten from public knowledge. Now lasting 18 months. Of course, his spell in charge of Everton didn't exactly help his reputation. And Mauricio Pochettino will be coming in soon. It's not been officially announced yet, but that is common knowledge. So, presuming Newcastle United aren't about to make any changes, their lineup is Martin Dubravka in goal, Kieran Trippier, Fabian Schär, Sven Botman and Matt Targett out the back, Elliot Anderson, Bruno Guimaraes, Anthony Gordon in the middle, with Miguel Almiron, Alexander Isak and Alain Saint-Maximin up front. That substitution for Chelsea is about to be officially made. Just waiting for confirmation of who will be making way for Wesley Fofana. Fofana, of course, in his first season, just under £70 million was spent on him. Off for Chelsea is number 14, Trevor Chalobah, and on comes number 33, Frenchman Wesley Fofana. Of course, his first season plagued by injuries. And with that, we have the referee's whistle, and we are back underway at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea going from left to right as I look at things on my screen. And the ball back with Fofana. He's getting his first couple of touches. Uses his goalkeeper, Kepa. Chips one over to Lewis Hall, and Lewis Hall can't direct his header, and it goes out of play for a throw-in. Plenty of people taking their time to get back to their seats at Stamford Bridge, and in fact there were a few empty ones throughout the first half. And given the season they've had to endure, these Chelsea supporters, can't exactly put too much blame on them. Kieran Trippier with the throw-in midway inside the Chelsea half, forward to Anthony Gordon, who tries to get past Hall, and Hall actually makes a mess of that one as well, and takes a completely unnecessary touch on the ball and goes out of play for a corner. Maybe I was doing him a disservice. It didn't look like Anthony Gordon was going to be able to get it, and he could have just shepherded it out of play, but he did take a touch, Lewis Hall, and it will be a corner for Newcastle United. He has impressed me a lot, Lewis Hall. Watched him in the game against Manchester United. Really good. Looks like an exciting young fullback. England, of course, churning out top quality fullbacks every 5 minutes at the moment. Matt Targett to take the corner kick on the far side for Newcastle. Over it comes. Too close to Kepa, but in fact one of his teammates gets a head onto it. It's going to be another corner for Chelsea. And Kepa has absolutely flattened Conor Gallagher, who did win the header. Gallagher taking some time to get to his feet. And Kepa actually with a follow-on on Gallagher there. It looked like it was Thiago Silva who took him out in the first place. Teammates attacking poor Conor Gallagher from every angle. So it will be a corner for Newcastle on the opposite side, in front of their own supporters. Kieran Trippier with this one, taking a sip of an energy drink before he does so. It's going to be an in-swinger with his right foot. The referee just having words with Isak and Fernandez before he lets the corner come over. We're 2.5 minutes into the second half. It's Chelsea 1, Newcastle United 1. Trippier using every millimetre of the quadrangle that he can. Over it comes to the back post, headed away by Loftus-Cheek. And Madueke helps to tidy up and puts it out for another Newcastle United throw-in. Madueke, another man in the first half who was causing Newcastle plenty of concern. Very lively young winger. Throw-in then taken by Trippier. Forward he goes to Cher, who's up from the back. Guimarães' ball across to Targett is a bit of a loose one, but he does manage to pick it up. Forward to Saint-Maximin. In front of him is Elliot Anderson. Back to Saint-Maximin once more. Puts the ball over. Tries to find the man at the back post, but it's cut out by Lewis Hall. Now Trippier. Tries to just thrust one across, but it's deflected into the path of Conor Gallagher, and now Chelsea, with Noni Madueke, have a chance to burst forward. Kai Havertz goes to the left-hand side where he finds Raheem Sterling. Sterling running at Trippier. Tries to go back inside to Havertz, but doesn't find him. But it's back now with Loftus-Cheek. Enzo Fernandez, 35 yards from goal in a central position. To the right he goes with Azpilicueta. Havertz this time. Overcomes the cross, looking for Sterling at the back post. It's headed out, but Sterling keeps it in play. Crosses it over again, and Madueke is there to try and keep it in play. A little bit overhit the cross from Sterling. Madueke back to Azpilicueta. Enzo Fernandez. Azpilicueta once more. Havertz back to Fofana. Fofana's pass is loose though, and Saint-Maximin were able to win it back for Newcastle. They play it back to 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, who's missed control there, almost knocked it out of play for a Chelsea corner. He just about managed to keep it in play, and then Newcastle, through Elliot Anderson, have won themselves a free kick inside their own half. Chelsea protesting about where the free kick should be taken. I'm not sure if it's going to make too much of a difference if they take it 85 yards or 87 yards from goal, but Conor Gallagher trying to force the referee to apply the law correctly. Newcastle keeping possession inside their own area. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 goes short to Fabian Cher. Cher up to Isak. Isak tries to turn, but there's too many Chelsea bodies around him this time. Loftus-Cheek now to Madueke. Madueke spots the run of Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher on the right wing. Infield he goes. It comes from Fernandez looking for Havertz, but it's turned away. Out wide now to Sterling. He links up with Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Sterling again. Shapes to put the cross in, but decides to go short. Loftus-Cheek. Forward to Madueke. Madueke who's switched wings for the moment. Now he picks out Sterling. Lewis Hall up from the back. He goes short infield to Loftus-Cheek. Back out to Hall. Can he shape for the cross? Oh no, he tries to take on the man himself, but the ball just runs away from him. And Newcastle clear it up to the halfway line where 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 restarts the attack for Chelsea. Loftus-Cheek, Sterling. Well tackled this time by Kieran Trippier. Back to Loftus-Cheek now it goes. He'll unleash Sterling once more. No space for him to work much. He just goes back to Lewis Hall. Now Gallagher. 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Gallagher picks out Lewis Hall. Enzo Fernandez and Gallagher combine again. Slow, patient build-up from Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓴𝓼. Back to the halfway line now with 𝓣𝓱𝓪. Crossfield to 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷. Fernandez again. Every black and white shirt ahead of 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷. He goes square to 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓴𝓼. Wide he goes to Madueke. Newcastle just chasing shadows in the moment, but the pace from Chelsea is fairly slow. Good pass out wide to Hall. Hall with a cross that goes low and is turned away by Cher. Back out to Lewis Hall. Fernandez and 𝓣𝓱𝓪. 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷. Forward to Sterling. I don't know if he tried to let it run on to Havertz or if he just miscontrolled it, but either way, it didn't find Havertz, and Newcastle able to clear it away. But once again, they're just knocking it long and allowing Chelsea to restart these long periods of possession. Still getting everybody behind the ball, Newcastle. They're playing much more like a side that are trying to hang on to their position in the Premier League rather than one that's already secured Champions League football. They do force Chelsea back though, and they almost force Enzo Fernandez into a mistake, but he gets away with it. He goes forward to Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek with a burst of pace. Now Madueke. Madueke cuts inside, shapes the shoot, and he curls that one high and wide over Martin Dubravka's goal. Cuts in from the right wing. Worked the angle to curl one with his left foot, but got far too much on it, Noni Madueke, and didn't get the direction right. And high and wide it goes, and that spell of possession for Chelsea, spell of pressure I should say, comes to an end. Manchester United have taken the lead against Fulham now. They lead by 2-1, and Southampton are 3-2 up against Liverpool. Still 0-0 between Everton and Bournemouth, and Leeds are 2-0 down at home to Tottenham. And as it stands, Leeds United are heading back down to the Championship after a 3-season stay. Kepa has been forced to put the ball out of play because 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 is down and clutching his face. Seems to be in a fair bit of pain. Being consoled by Kieran Trippier and Anthony Gordon. Something happened off the ball there, I think. Pedro Porro scored the second goal for Tottenham. Bruno Fernandes put Manchester United ahead. Well, there was an issue off the ball there. Anthony Gordon just catching 𝓤𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓰. Seemed completely accidental. Looks like referee Jared Gillett is happy for play to continue. We are back underway. The ball played back to Kepa. Leicester City still lead West Ham by 1-0, so Everton's point at Bournemouth, not enough. Newcastle now putting Chelsea under much more pressure inside their own area. 𝓣𝓱𝓪 turns away well though from Saint-Maximin, and Chelsea can attack down their right wing. Madueke, but excellent challenge, fantastic tackle. No, says the referee. It looked like he'd timed that one perfectly, Matt Targett. But no, foul. on Noni Madueke, says Jared Gillett. And he's just calling for a halt here, Jared Gillett. I'm not really sure if he wants to check something. Seemed like a good, robust challenge from Matt Targett, even on second inspection, but the referee believes he caught the man. Chelsea have already taken a free kick. Forward it goes now to Loftus-Cheek. He does well to turn away from Anthony Gordon. In fact, referee plays the advantage. Gordon now is trying to upend Raheem Sterling, but he gets away from him too. Loftus-Cheek now on the wing. Cuts into the area. Got plenty of men around him. Has to go back to Hall. Hall who puts in the cross, and that one is well over hit. And it's going to trickle out and over the sideline. Throw into Newcastle, just a few yards from their own corner flag. 2 more substitutions being prepared by Frank Lampard. João Felix and Carney Chukwuemeka are getting ready to come on. May well be the end of the afternoon for Havertz, possibly Loftus-Cheek. But no sign of the fourth officials board going up just as yet. We are underway again. Newcastle try to clear the ball away, but they don't gain many yards downfield, and Chelsea have already taken the throw-in inside Newcastle territory. They're up to the edge of the area now with Conor Gallagher. Tries to go back to 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, but 2 Newcastle players around him just about managed to win possession back. They made a bit of a meal of that, Newcastle, but they forced Chelsea back now inside their own area, inside their own half, I should say. Wesley Fofana now plays the ball back into Chelsea's own area with Kepa. Goes across to Lewis Hall. Hall just plays one forward. And Raheem Sterling trying to get away from Trippier, and the referee didn't like how Trippier was handling Raheem Sterling there. It's going to be another foul. There's another free kick for Chelsea. This may well be where we have the 2 substitutions, and it will. And it is the end of the afternoon for Conor Gallagher, in fact. Conor Gallagher making way. And Kai Havertz coming off. Kai Havertz, no. The board was incorrect. It's Kai Havertz and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, the 2 that I guessed. Off goes Ruben Loftus-Cheek. That's his final contribution of the season. Another player whose future may lie elsewhere, and he's taking a warm applause from the crowd who respond. And the way Loftus-Cheek is coming off, he may well be saluting Stamford Bridge for the final time. He's giving all 4 corners of the ground a big wave, and Loftus-Cheek may well know something that we don't, and we may have seen him in the blue of Chelsea for the final time. Kai Havertz also off, so Carney Chukwuemeka, number 30, on for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And the goal scorer last time out, João Felix, on he comes for Kai Havertz. It's pretty much as we have been for the whole of the second half. Chelsea controlling the ball, controlling possession. We've seen very little of Newcastle in an attacking sense in this half, but now we may have a chance because Almiron has done well to steal the ball from Lewis Hall. Gets past the man as well, cuts in field, 25 yards out. Out wide he goes now to Trippier, who's up from the back. Overcomes the cross, it's too close to Kepa. And we've had an hour gone, and that's the first meaningful attack we've had in the second half for Newcastle, at least for quite a while. They're on the defensive at the moment because Conor Gallagher is bursting forward for Chelsea. Now wide to Madueke. Takes a 1-2, but they lose control of it. Back it goes to Fernandes, who takes the shot. Now falls to Madueke. Gallagher. Fernandes. Madueke again trying to get Chukwuemeka involved, but turned away by Newcastle. And again, it's real backs to the wall stuff for Newcastle. It was such an open game in the first half, but they've decided they want a much more defensive approach. Bafana and Enzo Fernandez sharing a few passes inside their own half. Chukwuemeka forward. Sterling returns the favour. Chukwuemeka goes crossfield. Nice ball out wide to Madueke. Madueke waiting for the run of 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. He doesn't quite beat Saint-Maximin to it. Saint-Maximin just dribbles it out of his own area. And a great covering challenge there by 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. One back to Fernandez, now Gallagher, Chukwuemeka, Sterling. Ball being played just from right to left across the Newcastle penalty area. Into the area goes Sterling, but turns back to Lewis Hall. Now Joao Felix. Forward to Gallagher. Hall infield to Chukwuemeka. Enzo Fernandez. Again, Chelsea just waiting for that killer ball. And then the shot comes in. They lost a bit of patience there, Chelsea, in the end. Raheem Sterling deciding there was no better option than to take a bit of a pot shot from 25 yards out. And it was right down the throat of Martin Dubravka. 62 minutes gone. Chelsea 1, Newcastle United 1. Fabian Schär trying to play Newcastle out of trouble. Nice ball forward from him to Elliot Anderson. Anderson needs a bit of support. Out wide he finds Miguel Almiron on the right-hand side. Almiron in field. Trippier in field to Guimaraes. Short to Anthony Gordon. Chipped forward back to Gordon now. Can he put the cross in? Decides against it. Almiron again. Guimaraes, they're being forced back though, Newcastle. 25 yards out now. Guimaraes tries to play 1-2 with Isak, but it doesn't come off. And another chance gone for Chelsea, and coming in from the back there was Target, who fouls Madueke. And Chelsea now can properly relieve the danger. Leicester City leading 2-0. Wout Faes has put them 2-0 up against West Ham. Leicester City staying in the Premier League. It's Southampton 4, Liverpool 2. There's always one of those really, really crazy results on the last day of the season, which you just think, how on earth did that happen? It looks like it's happening at St Mary's. Bottom of the table, Southampton leading 4-2 against Liverpool. Chelsea up to halfway. Joao Felix trying to turn away from Fabian Schär, but is fouled. Free kick to the Blues, just inside the Newcastle half. They played it short. Chukwuemeka. Square to Enzo Fernandez. Nice pass through the lines to Conor Gallagher. Wide he goes. Madueke. Madueke fires one across. Lewis Hall's going to keep it alive, and his attempted shot goes just over the bar. That would have been some way for Lewis Hall to score his first ever goal in the Chelsea first team. Really hammered across by Madueke, and Lewis Hall out there was the only one able to keep that one in play. Took the touch to set himself and then tried to find the top corner with his right foot. But just couldn't keep it down. Another chance goes begging. Can't really pretty much the strongest lineup they could. Maybe only one or two changes. And they had a chance to finish third in the Premier League. You think they would have given it a bit more of a go in the second half. They've been sitting back, but they could burst forward now. Oh, and Anderson gave up the ghost there. The ball, Almiron tried to play to him. It looked like it was going to go out of play. Then Anderson realised it was going to stay in. And by the time or at least he realised he had a chance to retrieve possession and keep the attack going. By the time he'd restarted his efforts, it was too late. It's a lesson there for any youngsters. Don't ever give up. Hey, Anderson wasted that opportunity there. Now 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, and another chance has been presented to Newcastle because 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 threw the ball into Thiago Silva, who then just volleyed it straight out of play. Really strange there, and Newcastle don't do too much with the throw, but they forced Madueke this time to put it out, so it's going to be a throw-in for Newcastle, level with the edge of the Chelsea penalty area. It's going to be taken by Target up to Saint-Maximin, who then juggles it a couple of times, tries to get away from his marker, and 𝓣𝓱𝓪 did a really good job there to hold off Saint-Maximin and force him to play it out over the touchline. Newcastle fans believe that should have been a corner, but the referee awards a goal kick for the home side. Kepa goes short with that goal kick to 𝓣𝓱𝓪, who still holds on to it, then plays it to Thiago Silva. Back to Kepa. The ball hasn't left the Chelsea penalty area since the goal kick was taken. Finally, 𝓣𝓱𝓪 brings the ball forward, I should say. Eventually he goes wide to 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Into 𝓣𝓱𝓪 once more. Infield to João Felix. Wide to 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Newcastle are getting ready to make their first couple of changes of the match. Will be a while before they can make them though, because Chukwuemeka is in possession for Chelsea. Anthony Gordon put him under pressure, but he was able to find Thiago Silva. Now 𝓣𝓱𝓪. Forced back by Isak. Uses his goalkeeper. Lays it forward to Fernandes. 𝓣𝓱𝓪 again. 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓼𝓲𝓷𝓰. Cuts in field. Midway inside his own half of the field. Fernandes brings Chukwuemeka into the action. He prods it through nicely to Gallagher, then gets the return pass. Chukwuemeka still bursting forward. He's at the edge of the penalty area now, still going. Wide to Hall. Hall's cross is unorthodox. It falls to Raheem Sterling, who can't keep the chance down. Lewis Hall didn't catch the ball as he would have liked when he tried to put it over first time. Somehow it just bobbled on through. Kind of sliced the effort really, but it managed to evade three Newcastle defenders. And from only 7 yards out, Raheem Sterling, with his left-footed shot with his first touch, got right underneath that one, and the ball goes sailing over the bar. Alan Saint-Maximin and Anthony Gordon's afternoon comes to an end. Saint-Maximin being so bright with his running, as he always is, and Anthony Gordon, a big day for him. He scores his first goal in the black and white of Newcastle. On in their place, Callum Wilson and Jacob Murphy. So two more or less like-for-like changes for Eddie Howe. And another change being made by Frank Lampard. Off goes Conor Gallagher, and he's been replaced by the Croatian Mateo Kovacic. Kovacic missed the last three with a knock. Scored one goal in the Premier League this season. That one against Leicester in March. Forward, and he's upended this time by Bruno Guimaraes, and it's going to be a free kick for Chelsea, and we've got 20 minutes of the 90 still to be played. Still Chelsea 1, Newcastle United 1, and a chance though for Chelsea to put another dangerous ball into the box. The free kick is about 30 yards from Martin Dubravka's goal on the left hand side. Lewis Hall and Enzo Fernandez are the two standing over the ball. Newcastle again keeping a fairly high offside line. What can Chelsea do with this one? Over it comes from Fernandez, looking for Chukwuemeka, but He can't get a hold of it, and it's cleared away. Only as far as 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, who keeps it alive. Now 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓪 does well, shoots, it's deflected wide. It's going to be a corner kick for Chelsea. Nice touch there from 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, who just laid it into the path of 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, who opened up his body, got his head up, and took the shot from 25 yards. And it deflects off Fabian Schär through the legs of Sven Botman and out for a Chelsea corner. Lewis Hall over to take this one. In Springer with his left foot. So the edge of the area, 6-yard box, it falls at the feet of the Newcastle player. It's cleared away. Kepa retrieves it. Takes another touch. That one was another dangerous one from Lewis Hall. His corners have been pretty much on point this afternoon. All of them causing Newcastle a little bit of bother. 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 now tries to release Mateo Kovacic, whose touch is heavy, but a lucky ricochet sees the ball bounce into the path of 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷 again. Kovacic once more to 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, but then it's one pass too many really for Chelsea. Newcastle able to gain possession again through Isak, who is tackled by 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰, and the ball goes out of play. Newcastle throw in midway inside their own half. Crystal Palace have equalised against Nottingham Forest, and Everton have taken the lead against Bournemouth. 𝓣𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 breaks the deadlock at Goodison Park. That means it's all changed at the bottom of the table. Everton are staying up as things stand. Leicester's win not enough. It's Everton on 36, Leicester on 34, and Leeds completely out of it. They went down early on against Tottenham Hotspur and haven't looked like getting back into the match as far as I can see. At Stamford Bridge, Chelsea coming forward now with 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 linking up with Madueke. Enzo Fernandez gets robbed of possession, and now Newcastle can burst forward. Callum Wilson, the first meaningful chances, moments he's had on the ball. Wilson goes wide. Jacob Murphy. He gets crowded out and loses possession. Fernandez back there to help tidy up. Finds Madueke. Forward again to Fernandez. Tries the through ball to Dra. So we're just trying to regain their shape and build again. Leeds have scored against Tottenham, but Tottenham have added a third. They were back in it for all of 2 minutes, Leeds United. Jack Harrison in 69 minutes, 67 minutes, I should say, Harry Kane on 69. Leeds dropping down to the Championship. Kovacic forward to 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Lays it into Felix's path. He tries a shot from the edge of the area. Now another shot comes in from 35 yards from Enzo Fernandez. Wasn't the worst effort you'd ever see, but a few yards over the top it goes. It's been all Chelsea really in the second half. Everything is all a bit strange on the last day, but Chelsea have looked more like the team in the Champions League. And Dan Burn is going to be coming on. Usually starting in the left-back position, but the man who took that spot this afternoon, Matt Targett, goes off, placed by Dan Burn. And number 81, Lewis Miley, is on. Lewis Miley, the 17-year-old, on for his Premier League debut. And in fact, it's his Newcastle first-team debut as well. So a big moment. Lewis Miley on for Newcastle United. And he is on in place of Elliot Anderson. Newcastle take their goal kick short. They've worked it up to Jacob Murphy. Murphy bursting forward over the halfway line, still going through the middle. Oh, and then he just played it one side, and Callum Wilson made the run the other side, and the chance was gone. But good work that time by Murphy. That's Chelsea with Kovacic into Newcastle territory. Wide he goes, left to Lewis Hall. Kovacic again, short to Enzo Fernandez. 14 minutes of the 90 still to be played. Still Chelsea 1, Newcastle 1. Lewis Hall. He deflects his cross once or twice, goes all the way out to Madueke on the opposite side. Madueke keeps it alive, chips one, but it's blocked. Comes off Guimaraes. In fact, it's the youngster Miley who the last touch came off. And it's going to be a corner for Chelsea. And I think it came off the shoulder of Miley. It would have been very unfortunate if his first ever touch as a Newcastle and Premier League player would have resulted in a penalty. Lewis Hall takes the corner. He doesn't get hold of this one, though. I was praising his previous ones. That one just gets cut out so easily. By the man at the near post. Cleared away to @𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Then he finds Lewis Hall. Let's see if he can make amends. Nice flick pass behind the back to Madueke. And Madueke into the area now. Chukwuemeka. Sterling just wide. And screams of a penalty. And it was Madueke who somehow managed to win possession back. It was Dan Burn who was just shepherding the ball, and Madueke just came round the back of him and took possession from him. Into the area he went. He played it across to Madueke, to Chukwuemeka, I should say. Oh, and that did hit off the arm of Dan Burn. And João Felix has already grabs hold of the ball and is getting ready to take what he thinks is going to be a penalty for Chelsea. Dan Burn looking a little bit sheepish, and no penalty. No penalty, says the VAR. It's just going to be a corner. Chelsea's 10th one of the afternoon. Enzo Fernandez to take. So, big decision by VAR there, not awarding a penalty against Dan Burn. In comes the corner, it's cleared away by Callum Wilson. Out of play it goes for a throw. In front of the two dugouts. We're into the 79th minute at Stamford Bridge. And Chelsea have been the only side really looking likely to score. The ball goes over the top looking for Felix, and Dubravka has to come out of his goal and head that one away, but I think Felix was offside. I don't remember an offside call before in this match. It may have got to the 79th minute without an offside. And Felix went a little bit too early there. And it's a free kick for Newcastle. Newcastle linking up at the back with Botman and Cher and Dubravka as well. Botman again. In the first half, Chelsea had 9 attempts to Newcastle's 11. Chelsea have had 9 again in the second half to Newcastle's 1. So that just shows you what an open, even game it was in the first half, and how in the second it's been pretty much all Chelsea. But they haven't managed to score, and Newcastle are on the attack now with Guimaraes. To Almiron. Almiron pokes one through to Wilson. Can he turn? No, he can't, but it falls. Oh, to Guimaraes. And just like that, Newcastle could well have taken the lead. Prodded through by Almiron to Wilson, who tried to turn on the penalty spot, but it was half cleared. And in fact, on the edge of the area, it wasn't Guimaraes, it was Miley, who, forgive me, he has a very similar build and look to Guimaraes. And his shot with his side foot clips the top of the bar, and what an introduction to Premier League football that would have been for the young 17-year-old. And again, Kepa was beaten. What a moment that could have been for the youngster. He's such a similar build to Guimarães. He's playing a similar position as well, wearing the same colour boots. So forgive me for twice now getting those two confused. But we're into the final 10 minutes. A laugh, bit of a joke. Thiago Silva wondering how on earth he can compete in the air with such a tall individual as Dan Burn. Ball played wide to Lewis Hall now. Infield to Enzo Fernandez. Wide again to Hall. Newcastle defender committed himself. It didn't manage. Sterling. Murphy can't believe he hasn't been fouled there. As in fact, it's just a throw in to Chelsea. The referee's awarded. They throw it back to Kovacic. 8 minutes of the 90 still remaining. Thiago Silva. Kovacic goes to Lewis Hall. Hall to Felix to Sterling. And Sterling this time not checking along the line. Offside there. And he wasn't making a run there, Raheem Sterling. Just didn't pay attention to the line there. Fairly poor by the England winger. And Newcastle can relieve the pressure put upon them in the last couple of minutes. Lee Howe and Jason Tindall stood in the sunshine trying to get some instructions to their players. Hall, Kovacic, Enzo Fernandez picks out Madueke nicely, looks for the run of 𝓣𝓱𝓪𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. The ball falls back to Madueke, and in fact the referee says there was no advantage coming, and it was a foul by Sven Botman on 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰. Taken short. Now Madueke drills it across and turned away. I think it was Fabian Schär who got there just ahead of João Felix, who looked like he had a simple task of turning the ball in from 6 yards. But Madueke's ball across, well cut out by Fabian Schär. Chelsea with Chukwuemeka now, back to Fofana. Kovacic, 40 yards out in a central area. Back to Thiago Silva. On the halfway line is Wesley Fofana. Short pass forward to Kovacic. Being tracked by Guimarães, and believe me, this time it is Guimarães. Wesley Fofana. Kovacic gives away from the Brazilian and finds his Brazilian colleague, Thiago Silva. Lewis Hall. Suddenly it's Kovacic who everything is coming through at the moment for Chelsea. Sterling off the wing back to Enzo Fernandez. Fernandez forward to Chukwuemeka. Chukwuemeka wide to Madueke. Forward he goes back to Chukwuemeka to the byline. Across he goes, and then João Felix in at the near post, not able to divert that one on target. Difficult with try and shape a shot there. The ball coming at him so quickly and at such a tight angle as well. Chelsea fielded their youngest lineup in Premier League history against Manchester United. Thiago Silva took the average age way up this time. At 23 years, 238 days against United. Frank Lampard, one of the big praises heaped on him during his permanent spell here was that he did bring through plenty of youth players, and he's doing that again in his short time as interim boss. It's another one of the youngsters, Noni Madueke, trying to get past Dan Burn. on Chelsea's right wing. Can't do so on this occasion. Has to go back to Wesley Fofana. We are inside the last 5 minutes at Stamford Bridge. Still 1-1 in a game which is still something on the line for both teams in terms of where they finish in the table. Raheem Sterling tries to drill one across to Chukwuemeka, but he can't find him, and Newcastle able to get it away. Now Alexander Isak, who's been much quieter in the second half, as most of the Newcastle attackers have been. Back he goes to Dan Burn. And it's given away. Kovacic forward to Joao Felix. He finds Madueke. Can he shoot? Dan Burn stands his ground and does well. Madueke still plays it across low, but an easy one there for Martin Dubravka to cut out. It's still 1-0 between Everton and Bournemouth. West Ham United have got one back against Leicester, but if Everton hang on, it doesn't really matter too much. It's Southampton 4, Liverpool 4, could you believe it? And Arsenal are 5-0 up against Wolves. I think now that the pressure is all off Arsenal now, of course, lost the title, but they can just play without that pressure. It's amazing what happens when those pressure valves have been released. Jakub Kiwior scoring his first goal for Arsenal. And another change for Chelsea. Their fifth and final one of the match. And Christian Pulisic, another man whose future is somewhat in doubt in West London. He's coming on for the final few minutes. And Noni Madueke, who's been a real bright spark, firstly against Manchester United in midweek, and then today again, comes off and gets a well-deserved round of applause. And the American international Christian Pulisic comes on for his 24th appearance of this Premier League season, only 8 of those coming from the start. And Alexander Isak comes off as well for Newcastle. And it's going to be Jamal Lewis, just his second appearance in the Premier League all season. Jamal Lewis, he's going to get 2 and a bit minutes plus added time. Newcastle free kick, which they launch forward to Burn. He tries to knock it into the path of Murphy. Trying to keep it alive, Newcastle, but they've been forced back inside their own half. Now Kieran Trippier. Bruno Guimaraes tries to pick it up. One back well by Miley. Almiron linking up with Guimaraes as well. Sven Botman, and then Guimaraes has to use Fabian Schär. A minute and a half left of the 90. Are we going to have a winner at Stamford Bridge? Not like that. Ball drilled forward, cut out by Enzo Fernandez. It's just Chelsea's turn this time to just clear their lines, and then the ball almost given away. Oh, and Dan Burn, his ball behind Sven Botman, and Botman just managed to recover and get a toe on it before Joao Felix could steal in and start bearing down on Dubravka's goal. Dan Burn has not covered himself in glory in this match. He's given it away a couple of times in dangerous areas. He almost gave away a penalty as well, but almost played Joao Felix in perfectly there, Dan Burn. He's had a fantastic season, as so many of these Newcastle players have, but it's not really at the races today, Dan Burn. But at the races maybe could be Jamal Lewis. Ball played over the top to him, but Kepa was there to cut it out. Poor touch by Kovacic this time. Has given it back to Almiron. Dan Burn this time, no nonsense, forward to Jamal Lewis. Burn once more. Takes a touch from Guimaraes. Free kick just outside the penalty area, and once again Dan Burn all at sea for Newcastle, allowing Raheem Sterling to dispossess him fairly comfortably. Sterling for the first 45 seconds of those 3 minutes. We haven't had any action at all, so we could see a little bit extra added on. The referee is still making sure that the Newcastle wall is back the requisite 10 yards. João Felix, who scored Chelsea's consolation against Manchester United in what are going to be his final few minutes as a Chelsea player on loan from Atletico Madrid, attempting to score his 5th goal. João Felix, just over 20 yards out. He's going to try and curl this one over the wall with his right foot. Felix, he's got Enzo Fernandez available as a short option. Here comes Felix over the wall and just over the top of the bar. Tried to pick out the far corner there, João Felix. And 𝓳𝓸𝓲𝓷𝓲𝓷𝓰 didn't really move. I think he knew it was going wide. And it did dip a little bit for João Felix, but not nearly quickly enough. Bit of a knuckleball attempted there from the Portuguese. And we are now just entering the final minutes of the initial 3 that were added, but in those 2 minutes we've only had the free kick, so maybe we'll have a little bit of time added on, see if we can have a winner at Stamford Bridge. And Brentford have done the double over Manchester City. They've won 1-0 at the Brentford Community Stadium. But no time for that now, because Chelsea are launching an attack. Lewis Hall again. Over comes his cross. João Felix! Oh, that was the chance! Excellent cross by Lewis Hall, right onto the head of João Felix, who was unmarked just outside the 6-yard box. Virtually a free header for Felix. He rose, but he couldn't keep the effort down, and just over the bar it went. He really did well, actually, to rise as high as he did there, João Felix. But just couldn't get over the ball enough. And over the top it goes, and it looks like that may well have been the final chance. And that is where the season comes to an end for Chelsea and Newcastle United. And it's where Chelsea's second spell under Frank Lampard ends as well. There may be 1 or 2 more results to come in which could affect things, but as things stand, Chelsea finished the season in 12th place on 44 points, their lowest position in the Premier League era. Only their second
take the throw. He won't be throwing this long. He'll be looking for someone to throw it short to so that they can hold it down by the corner flag, I would think. Ellis Sims is offering. Plays it back to Garner. They're just going to try and hold it in there, but they've given away the throw. So Everton have got a chance to launch one more. Dean Smith paces around as Bournemouth try and break forward. Tarkowski comes across, whacks it into the stands. Bournemouth get a throw midway inside the Everton half on their left. Lloyd Kelly goes across to take it. 1 minute and 45 seconds of the 10 minutes are left. There may be a little more because of the stoppages we've had, but Bournemouth have kicked the ball straight off the field and given Everton a throw. Well, that was a complete waste from that throw. Everton will be in no hurry to take this. They may make another substitution to try and take time off the clock. Leicester players gathered around, watching the end on somebody's phone, willing Bournemouth to score a goal, but in truth they've only had a couple of chances in this half. But then they would only need one, would they not? But will they get it? 1 minute left of the 10. I think we'll play another couple on top of that because of the players that have hit the deck since we started the 10 minutes. But it's out of play again. It's another Everton throw.
Our brands are committed to building a more inclusive society.
Sean Dyche, hands on head. He's pointing at his watch, saying, "Time's up, ref."
The world.
30 seconds. Everton.
The children we
claim
treat aren't just
salvation here
hungry.
at Goodison Park. James Garner taking about half an hour to throw this ball in. Throws it up the line. How much longer will we play? It's gone straight out of play. Bournemouth have the throw. Can they get one more chance? Or are Leicester City going to be relegated?